Hello everybody, this is JD and I'm going to want you to seriously listen to me. First things, let's talk a little bit about us, the people of the United States. 1960, Kennedy and Nixon running for president, discussing the issues. Actually, you can find it on YouTube. I found it and I listened to it. What surprised me is what they discussed. Exactly the same problems we have right now. Exactly the same. Maybe a little bit worse, but not much better. So, why do I bring this up on this video? That a revolution is around the corner, and it will happen. Because the two-party system has actually, since 1960, other than major blunders, done nothing for you, the American people, except for making it harder for you to live. Now, we got several things I want to discuss and tell you why, before I tell you there's going to be a revolution. One, there is a important piece in the Constitution that tells the federal government what they are to do. Congress needs to abide by the Constitution of the United States. Now, what is this? Actually, the outline, the purpose of the federal government is to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, and promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. That is where the Constitution limits Congress. They can't go around making laws for anything they feel like. It's unconstitutional. And what happens if there is a law needed? First and foremost, the 10th Amendment is to take place. And that one, has been abused by Congress more than any other amendment. The power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, which limits the powers, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. Congress has to stop treating us, the American people, as children. We are not children. They are going into areas that are not their responsibility. They need to back off. And the reason this happens is, listen to 1960 presidential candidates debate between Nixon and Kennedy. Gosh, the same things as today. What's wrong? The two-party system has failed the United States people. The two-party system is bought, paid for by the rich few and mega organizations. Not even organizations of this country buy them. And we're stuck because it's a lot cheaper to buy 2 items than it is to buy almost 600. Now, what do I really want this video to warn you about? There is a revolution coming. It's definitely coming. It could be either peaceful or violent, but it depends on you, the people. Are you wise enough, smart enough to realize this? There are people right now in the woods of our nation practicing for the overthrow of Congress. They don't want to overthrow the government. They want to get rid of the two-party system. They just don't know it. They want to get rid of the inability of our federal government to function. This revolution will be peaceful if we are wise enough. The revolution as such must show compassion for each and every American citizen, whether it's a newborn baby or the oldest man, whether it's a person to the extreme right or a person to the extreme left. All must be involved, and we must be compassionate to ourselves. Compassion is what is needed in a revolution to make it a tranquil. Wise enough is to choose the proper direction for the revolution. The government does not need to be overthrown. The Constitution does not need to be rewritten. But we, the people, must understand we are to be served by the federal government, not servants of the federal government. If we care for each other and our country, this Constitution will be successful. If we are strong enough to stand up for each other and our Constitution, this revolution will be an enlightenment to our government. This revolution is coming whether we want it or not. We, the people, can affect the very character of the Constitution and this revolution. We, the people, cannot stop this revolution from coming. You've got to understand that. It is going to come. And the reason that is because we, the people, are part of this revolution. Actually, we, the people, are the core of this revolution. The federal government is the very cause for this revolution. The lack of their ability to function, the lack of their ability to hear the people, the lack of their ability to serve the people. And the political parties are the fuel for this revolution. The political parties are represented in Congress, not the people. The political parties are totally bought by the few, the rich, and organizations outside this country. The political parties believe that they're there and we are to serve them. That is what is the problem with our government. We must understand that this two-party system must change, be gone with. And we, the people, are not the servants of the federal government. But we, the people, are to be served by the federal government. In other words, the federal government is to be the servants of the people. That's what this is all about. That's what I'm all about. Plain and simple. Listen to my promises to give you a voice in Washington, D.C., to ensure that Congress hears you. And then when my terms are up, to say to you, the people, I have given you back your government. Do not let anybody or anything steal it away again. How many presidents come into the White House with personal agendas? The problem with personal agendas are it's what they want, not what you want. I have a personal agenda. This is what I want. I want your voices to be heard. I want your voices to have meaning. And I want Congress to listen to you, the people. That's my agenda. The course that Congress takes cannot be set by me because my agenda is your voices. Each and every one of you. You must understand that. And that's what JD's all about. JD is all about the revolution, taking the government, the federal government, away from the political parties and putting it in the hands of each and every single American. I don't want to hear somebody say, I didn't vote because my vote don't count. I want to hear, I voted because I know, JD, my vote counts and matters to you. Because it does. And that's what's going to cause the revolution. You out there, not JD. How many times you hear me say, I cannot do this alone? I know it. But us together, we can. What's the odds of me becoming president? Astronomical. But it's not impossible. It's up to you. Matter of fact, it could not even be astronomical if you all understand what I'm saying. We will take the Constitution of the United States of America, use the Constitution of the United States of America, get back the government from the political parties via the Constitution of the United States of America, and force Congress, both the House and the Senate, to hear the appropriate voices via the Constitution of the United States of America. And you notice I said Congress, the House, and the Senate, appropriate voices, because the House is to hear the voice of the people and what they want and what they need. And the Senate is to hear the voice of the states, what they want and what they need. And working together, they produce a federal government that functions for the state and the people. And it can be done. Now, I had some people that are talking and trying to promote, well, why replace all congressmen and senators? Because some of them are good. The one congressman or senator who gets up before you and says, I am your congressman or your senator, and I represent you and no others, no political parties, nothing else, just you, the people. I don't care what political party got me elected, but you are I represent, and I shall only represent you. That's the one to keep. The one who tells you that I am a Republican and I will represent you only represents Republicans. Political party, out the door. One who says Democrat, out the door. Tea Party, that's extreme right. Throw them out the door because they really don't care what anybody wants except for what the Tea Party wants. And the Tea Party is not everybody. So you see, people, when you really look at them, they need to represent you. They need to disavow any allegiance to any political party and say, I am the representative of the American people from the district that voted me in. And that is the only people I shall represent. Not the Republican, not the Democrat, not the T, not the libertarian, not anything. Stands up and strongly says, I will represent you. Then you got a congressman or senator worth keeping. Any other one? Forget it. Now you say, how can they get anything done? They're the minority. They're only the minority until you all out there replace the junk. And that is the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, the Libertarian Party, the Tea Party, and all those other parties. You get the parties out of Congress. Those congressmen start realizing their job is to represent you. They start working for you. And then you'll have a government that will work, federal government. And the Senate starts working for the state. You will have. And when they start working for you and your state, that puts you and the state up there, number one, above all else. So that what they'll say is, well, you know, this third world country can use this, but what about us? Are our people properly taken care of? No? Well, then the third world country has to wait until we take care of our people. For that's what the taxes are for. The people of the United States of America. First and foremost. Maybe it's selfish. Maybe it's wrong. But think about this for a little bit, people. You send money to charities and stuff. And I applaud you for it. But first, you take care of your family. You see to it that your family has a decent home. You see to it that your family has food on the table. Then you give to charity. That is expected. Well, the same thing is expected of our federal government. To serve you, the people, first and foremost. There's not enough for everything else. You do family first. You always do. No one will begrudge you taking care of your family. They will begrudge you and wonder why you are so stupid if you give so much to charity that you cannot take care of your family and you need to go get charity for somewhere else. And there are people who do that. I've known one. We had to stop his donations to a charity, which was hard to do because the charity did not want to stop. Because he was going to the Navy Relief every single payday to get money for food, to pay his rent, to pay his utility bill, because he was giving so much money to this charity. We understood why he wanted to give to the charity, because they helped pay for his child's operations, which he could have doggone went to St. Judas, CHKD, and they would have took care of the whole thing. See, and he didn't give nothing to St. Judas, CHKD. Funny. So, people, there is a revolution coming. You have to understand that. It's going to be peaceful or it's going to be violent. Do we want another revolution like we had in the late 60s and early 70s? Do we? Where people are fighting against the police and the police are fighting against the people and the police don't even like doing what they're doing and cities are being burnt to the ground? Do we want that? Or do we want a transition, which we can do now by starting one major step? And that is electing me as president. And we go from there. I will bring your voice to Washington, D.C. Congress will listen to what you have to say. And by the end of my term, I will try my hardest so I could say to you, the people, I have given you your government back in your hands. Now keep it. And don't let the rich few, the rich, and the major mega corporations outside the world get control of your country ever again. Many times I said, we the Americans, if we must stand alone, we will stand alone. But we shall prevail as Americans. Now, quickly, major things in the news. The Ukraine, that is a European crisis. Let our allies know we will be there behind them. Gaza Strip, as far as I'm concerned, this is my personal opinion, and I will say this, and I will express it as president too. Hamas, you want to fire rockets into Israel? Go ahead. But when Israel takes you off the face of the earth, quit crying. And you people who want to stay in the line of fire, fine. But don't cry when your family dies. Think of it this way, people. The We Doggone was tracking seismic activity in the Pacific Ocean and realized there was going to be a major volcanic eruption, and there was going to be, within a week, 100-foot tidal wave hitting the west coast of the United States. We knew that positively beyond a shadow. Within a week, there'll be 100-foot tidal wave hitting the United States, west coast. We would warn the people to evacuate. If they stay, well, afterwards we'll help you as best we can. Same thing goes with Gaza. Israel warned the people, get out of there, because they're going after the people who are launching the rockets. And they're not going to stop till they get them. And you, the UN, get your friggin' head out of your butt. Start learning the difference between war crimes and war. Israel is not capturing the civilians, is not taking them prisoner, is not killing them intentionally. The war crimes are Hamas using the humans as a shield so they could attack Israel. I have no love for Israel no more than Arabs. I love you both. But, honestly, people, this is what I would have done with the Twin Towers. We would not be at war with Afghanistan, unless they really want to be at war. When the Twin Towers went down and we found out that Al-Qaeda, Bin Laden did it, I would have told Afghanistan, I want Bin Laden and his henchmen, all the leaders, in 5 days. Didn't give them to me, I'd nuke every Al-Qaeda camp that I know of in the world. Every single one of them. And I'm not kidding. You had the audacity to attack my nation. I have the strength and the vigor to make sure you never do it again. War is hell. In peacetime, it's murder. So UN, get your head out of your butt. Hamas and Israel is at war. There's no question about it. See it for what it is. If you get out and at least keep your mouth shut, there may have been peace there now. When you got up, you should have said, Hamas, don't attack Israel, then we'll work. Otherwise, hey, it's a gunfight at the OK Corral. Winner walks away, loser's going to be wiped out. But no, you don't want to do that. And the reason that Israel has all these restrictions is because of what exactly happens. Hamas builds up its armory, attacks Israel. Israel goes in, destroys the armory, then backs off, puts the restrictions up. Hamas smuggles in the weapons, builds up its armory, attacks Israel. Instead of Hamas building up the community, if they showed good faith, I'm positive Israel would show good faith. You want to attack? Expect to be attacked. That's the way the world works. It's been doing that for how many thousands of years? I would say since Cro-Magnon man took over for Neanderthal man, which may even be millions of years. If you want to change, then you have to change. Don't expect change while you're doing the same old thing over and over again. So, American people, this is JD. We can have a peaceful revolution, replace our government with these political parties, with congressmen and senators that will serve you, hear you, listen to your state, and tell the political parties to shove it. Then, and only then, will our Congress serve the American people and the states within this country. But until that happens, you need a leader strong enough to start it. This is JD. There is a revolution coming. It can either be peaceful or violent. I'm telling people, back off. Give the vote a chance. So you people who don't vote, you're very important. Extremely important in this upcoming election. You have no idea how important your vote is. Don't be frustrated. Let's all march together and show Washington what the Constitution says and what we expect from Congress. Plain and simple. I'm not going to go to the Declaration of Independence because we could go through that and really tear apart our government. But we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty. That's what we, the people, want Congress to do. Thank you. Have a nice night. The revolution is coming. Okay. And you support it and work together, and we can do it peacefully. Or there are people right now practicing, exercising, gathering, that feel the only way is to, plain and simple, march with a gun. I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to destroy a single building. I don't think we need to fire a single shot. I do believe in you, the people, and I will, because of my strength in my belief in you, bring your voice to Washington, D.C. President of the country, servant of the people. That's who I am, JD. Have a nice day. And yes, JD has always been real. Thank you.